Please welcome the Chroma Awards, hosted by Maddie Shimura, Chroma Awards at 11 Labs and founder at Project Odyssey, with Mike Scourin, Ben Glickbarg, Justin Hackney, and PJ Achituro.
The wrong order.
Ben, you go first.
Mike.
Hello. Welcome. We have a really all-star panel tonight featuring some of our sponsors and our judges from the Chroma Awards. For context, the Chroma Awards is an Olympics of AI film, music videos, and games, essentially the world's largest creative competition where we're bringing together all of the different foundational models, application layer companies, and creative studios to have a gauntlet of the best across films, spec ads, music videos, everything you can imagine. Before we get started, I'm going to have my panelists introduce themselves and a little bit about what they're working on. Mike, let's start with you.
Thank you very much, Matti. I'm Mike. I'm with Google Clouds. I'm the AI go-to-market lead for Central Eastern Europe. Somewhere on the audience, there is my friend here, Enrique, who is running the Iberia, Spain, Portugal. That's pretty much it.
I'm Ben. Good to be here, but I'm one of the founding GTM members at Val.ai. We are more of a developer-focused kind of API layer for providing generative media models like image, video, audio. Good to be here.
My name is Justin Hackney, and I am co-founder of an AI native studio called Wonder.
PJ Ace, as I'm known online, viral AI madman. No, I run a production company agency similar to kind of Wonder, all AI focused.
Cool. Well, now that you heard from our speakers, we're going to tell you a little bit about the competition, and what better way than to show rather than tell with a little video we have planned.
It begins with a spark, a burst of light in the dark, a question before the answer. From that spark came fire. Story, carved in stone and passed through time. Symbols became words. Words sparked revolutions. The world changed. Culture was born. We gathered, we performed, and then voices carried across continents. Images flickered. Dreams were projected into reality. Then, again, everything changed. The internet arrived. Creation exploded. Games, films, the rules bent. And now, we stand at the edge of a new era of technology.
A moment to make our mark!
No gatekeepers, no borders, no excuses.
Just raw passion.
Talent and drive.
This is your shot!
It's your time.
This is the Chroma Awards.
Cool. And I think we have one more video that kind of goes over the
Awards
competition
are
details.
finally here.
Right.
By November 3rd, submit your AI films, music videos, and games at chromawards.com and compete for our prize pool of over $175,000. Our mission is to unite the top creators, communities, and companies across the world. This initiative would not be possible without the support of 11 Labs, FAL, FreePic, Dreamina, CapCut, and now announcing Google Cloud. Check out all of our prizes, sponsors, and tools at chromaawards.com and join our community to push the boundary of creativity together.
Awesome. So you heard a little bit about the competition. We're running for another 2 weeks until November 17th across 25 different categories. And thanks to our amazing sponsors, you heard from some of them. We also have Dreamina and CapCut from ByteDance, Hilo, Kling AI, and of course FreePic. We are very thankful to all of them to be able to bring together this amazing cash prize pool of $175,000. We have distribution opportunities through a variety of different streaming platforms on a variety of like AI Netflixes, and also we're giving away student internships and some job opportunities for some creative studios too. So really excited for this season of the competition. It's our inaugural season of the Chroma Awards, but all of this actually started just over 1 year ago with myself and Justin, the folks at Think Diffusion and Real Dreams, when we had started the Project Odyssey competition. So you might have been here last year and we were talking a little bit about that. And we actually surpassed the Runway's AI film competition number of submissions. To really have this, it's not just art house indie, it's all these different, this whole spectrum of categories from music videos to experimental art to interactive narratives. So we're really excited to put together this competition with two of our title sponsors and two of our judges here today, and a variety of other judges here in the crowd. To get us started, I want to learn a little bit about, you talked about your companies, but I wonder what role do you think that you play within this ecosystem of AI filmmaking, AI creativity? PJ, I'd love to, start with you and with Genre AI about thinking about what role you play as a judge, but also your company as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, we try and, in some ways, like, lead the way for other creators. Like, I was a creative in the space just like everybody else like a year ago, and just making weird, hopefully viral AI films, and like we've been able to kind of grow, 7-figure agency out of that in the space of a year. And like I believe, especially within advertising, that there's a lot of opportunity. I have a talk about this where I'll kind of teach you guys our process later today, so don't make sure to not miss that. But I really do believe that there's this moment where these like underdogs, anyone in the world can make ads and films in Hollywood, and like the market is so wide open right now. It's a wild west, and I'm really excited about that. And awards, and kind of opportunities like this with Chroma are what is going to help put you as a creator in the center stage for brands to work with, for agencies to hire. Huge opportunity here.
And Justin, you made our launch trailer. So really big ups to Wonder Studios. You were previously with us at 11 Labs and now are on kind of your own venture with Wonder Studios. If you could tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So, I've been on a bit of a journey since OpenAI launched kind of 3.5 years ago, where I was kind of supporting them with their artist program, trying to get creators in the space to get their hands on the tech. I was working at 11 Labs as a creative director. All the while, I was kind of helping build community. It was called Real Dreams. It's a small community. It's not really active online, but through that, I've had the pleasure of being able to meet this guy, and Matty and I, obviously, we started exploring what film competitions looked like, and it was really exciting because I could see firsthand the power of these tools and what they were doing, but I wanted to share that experience with as many people as possible. Wonder, which we've just set up like 7 months ago, the idea of it is, if you built an AI native studio today, what would it look like? Now, we're exploring this space. We have no answers to all the questions, and we don't exactly know where this space is developing. But the idea is, can we bridge to the industry, and can we bridge to indie creators in this space to explore this technology as it emerges?
And with FAL and Google Cloud kind of being at that infrastructure layer, we have the studios, we have the creators who are more hands-on, but we also have the companies who are really behind empowering a lot of these ecosystems, whether it's models on free pick, whether it's the infrastructure layer. How do you think your companies play that kind of important symbiotic role within the the AI animal kingdom, so to say?
Yeah, I think these guys said it well, but a lot of it is just about extending reach of models and access to technology for creators. I kind of mentioned what FAL does, but we're more of kind of an aggregator and developer-centric platform to have access to the newest and state-of-the-art models. So we provide those to companies like FreePick and creators that are actually doing the exciting stuff and the cool work. So I think the name of the game for us is really just how can we, as quickly as possible, be enabling access to these new models. How can we have close partnerships with companies like Google and Kling and all these model labs, and extend that access to companies like FreePick and others that make that available to creators, so that as soon as something new comes out, which is happening every 2 to 3 weeks,
2 days, every second,
2 hours,
right?
Exactly. All the creatives can immediately implement it and get started on it.
Yeah. And speaking of models, I think everyone here is very familiar with Google as a whole, but also their Veo model too, which has been really dominating some of the social media and kind of landscape there. Mike, if you could tell us a little bit about how that works, especially within such a behemoth of a company.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to hear everything from the creators' side and also from the companies like FAL, 11 Labs, FreePic, which is the layer for the pro tools for the creators. Because we lay the foundation for that. So DeepMind is basically training those models. Veo is just one example. Gemini Nano Banana, so 2.5 flash image. Imagen, Lyria. I mean, there is a lot of those models being trained. The newest, the greatest, the one that is most exciting, but not yet available, is Genie 3. It's a world model, so you will be able to prompt a world and then walk around this world and explore it. So that's another like a breakthrough that we are trying to develop. And I think that the contribution that we do is we do a lot of research and then we make those models available via FreePic, via FAL, via 11 Labs, via our creators and all sort of tools. But at the same time, in Gemini app, in Google Cloud, so I mean, it's highly available there.
Yeah, Mike, you touched on a great point, which is kind of that cross-pollination, that collaboration. And I think for the competition, for conferences like that, like this here at Upscale, partnerships have been really a key indicator of success. And I think we're able to go so much farther together than just on our own individually. My belief too is even though a lot of us are soft competitors, right? We have features that are similar or within these certain domains. I think we should really put some of that aside. Even though it's hard to not be competitive, especially in this kind of Silicon Valley funding investment bubble. But if we're infighting amongst ourselves, if we're tearing each other down through Twitter beefs or through these things that are just not productive in my opinion, then I think it impedes progress. Our main goal is to get mainstream adoption. I think that's going to be better for the creators and the studios. It's going to be more business for the companies. But how do we really get there? And I think that vehicle of the competition is the perfect spearhead for that. And it's only through working through this variety of partners across every stage of that ecosystem layer to be able to make that happen, especially with so many anti-AI people being there. I think we have to be more unified. We have to join together in lockstep rather than being that crab in the bucket, tearing each other down. On that point, I wanted to ask a little bit about your companies and who you're partnered with.
Yep.
Who really has been your strongest partner for helping you achieve that success, helping you go to market, being able to be that ally for you that has been transformational?
Start with the market guy. Go on.
So basically, I think I'm very close to all these large enterprise companies, and I'm trying to unlock them on getting more and more comfortable with using AI, because they would usually be focused on data control, IP control, legal indemnification, all this kind of stuff, which is making them afraid of using AI at a larger scale. And at the end of the day, this is where the money is for all the creators, because this is the big market where there is a lot of commercials to be done, a lot of videos. So I'm doing workshops, I'm working with them, and I'm really happy that we have this competition, Chroma Awards, because we will be able to build a community around this. And I've also been trying to invite those large enterprise companies to submit their creations there. But I'm encountering a lot of issues there. So these guys are not able to quickly produce a content because they usually work with large marketing agencies, media houses. So, the process of building a creative brief, then the content generation part, which we are all excited here about, is just a small component, because then they need to activate this content in media channels. They need to get feedback, measure the conversions and everything, get insights, and then close that loop. So for them, in the marketing departments, marketing is not only about content creation, it's about a lot more. And they don't know how to squeeze the good quality from the AI. So this is something that we should...
And with the competition too, there's a lot to gain, but there's also a lot to lose, right? People, they have their, they're putting themselves out there, right? Especially with trying this new medium. And we have a lot of kind of companies attached to it where we're trying to bring exposure, where it's egalitarian. It doesn't matter how many views you have. It doesn't matter how many upvotes or the algorithm. It's all human reviewed. Across these many different categories to really hope that the best stuff bubbles up to the top. Whether you're from a creative agency and you've been doing this for decades and decades to being able to start it out with your very first film or game or music video project. Yeah,
I've got a hot take. Partnerships with brands, even model companies, a little overrated. Here's my hot take for creators in the room right now. Partnerships with each other is the most important thing you can do.
Amen.
Yeah, and a lot of AI creators think you have to create in a bubble. You're an artist. It has to be just you and your underwear in the room. Like, no, you really can create with other creators because the traditional film process is a collaborative process. Like, you are not the best writer. You are not the best director. You're not the best animation editor. You know, we split, like at our companies and agencies, like we split it into stages with you in your genius zone. And I think that's when I really leveled up as a filmmaker, is when I went from like, oh, I have to be the one prompting everything and writing everything, to like, I know what I'm good at. And in many ways, I'm just good at a big idea and organizing people around that. But I think that's what really people could benefit from with competitions like this, is figure out who your people are that you love to work with, they love to work with you, and their skill sets interlock with yours.
Thinking about what you can uniquely do, and I guess in your case, it's that orchestrator, it's that director to bring those people together.
Yep, exactly.
Agreed. You know, I think a lot of people see this technology and they go, wow, I can do it all myself.
Yep.
And you get to that point, and then it's very lonely. As great as the work is, as much as you can do, you don't want to be sitting in your boxers or completely naked doing stuff by yourself.
Hey man, whatever works.
There comes a point where you go, okay, wow, look what I can do. Who am I going to do this with? And what's the meaning behind this? Like, how far do I want to take this? But to kind of backtrack to the question, like, I do think collaborations in this space across tech companies, creative suites, it's important. We've partnered with Google, we've partnered with 11, we've partnered different places. I'm not saying this just because we're here at a free pick event, but it has been about 2-3 years in this space where they have been continuously getting people together. Some of the best people in this space, people I've known for years, are sitting in this room. And that kind of continuous showing up, creating a space and connecting people, whether it's an event like this or for a competition, that is important. Because I think we're all on this journey together, and as to your point, it's the people that we meet along the way.
Community,
Yeah. I think it's interesting too because, like, you know, this room gets bigger and bigger every year, but it's still so small in comparison to the mainstream. And I think as we're still not even close to like passing the early adopter phase, so I think collaboration is so important, and actually learning from others and being open to learning. I think you see that with a lot of these open source models and models that, you know, are older or becoming open source. So I think an overall openness to collaboration and willingness to learn from others is important as we progress towards that, you know, more mainstream adoption.
Yeah, and I think it's a great point. It's a bit of a double-edged sword because AI is so empowering, you can do everything yourself. But conversely, there's something that's lost when you're not in the edit bay with your friends, you're not on set, being able to share ideas. You know, you have one friend on the boom mic, one friend who's the cinematographer, you have your actors, and you're able to direct them all in situ. I wonder, how can we bring back that community aspect to it, where it's hard to find people? You know, I think at events like this, you can find other AI filmmakers in different Discord groups or WhatsApp chats. You can find people to divide and conquer, but how do you really put that team together? PJ, you had mentioned, you know, being able to have someone who is really that specialist at prompting, or someone who is VFX artist, or, you know, everyone has their little niche, their piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I think the free pick spaces is like a really interesting canvas-based approach to creating AI projects. Really unlocks collaboration with others. Like as much as like text to video was a game changer earlier this year when VO3 dropped, I think we quickly switched back as an industry or at the top agencies of ours to the image to video workflow because you're able to kind of storyboard like the entire projects, collaborate, make notes. We use Figma a lot, we've used Milanote, and that keeps that spirit of like collaboration throughout the process.
Cool. And speaking from the perspective of judges and also sponsors, so the sponsors, we structured the competition a little bit like a hackathon away, where there are our main categories, sci-fi, thriller, marketing and advertising, all of these different kind of colors or flavors that people like to create, because filmmaking is not just indie or art house narrative, it's everything in between. I wonder what you're looking for the most, whether it's cool case studies of your tools, whether it's PJ's doing our marketing and advertising category, Justin's doing sci-fi fantasy. What are you really looking for in the competition? I'm sure you've all seen hundreds, if not thousands, of AI films. What's going to take to get your attention and to get that kind of winning score, to be your champion as one of the sponsors, or to be that winner of one of those main categories?
Having watched thousands and thousands of AI films now, I think what I'm looking for is to watch something and be just absorbed by it, just not think about it being AI. And I think the technology is very much there now, where even like my critical eye won't be able to spot things. But I think it doesn't really matter if you're absorbed into a great story. It's the story that matters. I think it's just really strong storytelling because the tools are there now. Beyond that, if we can get this, it's someone pushing a new style, something new that can come out of these tools, not like recreating something you could do with bigger budgets. It's like what is unlocked because these tools allow you to do something new.
Even for the competition for our scoring, we have an originality score. So, while you can do everything, that doesn't necessarily mean you should. You can make your Nike spec ad, and that's awesome, but make your own shoe brand. Come up with something that pushes the boundary, especially when it comes to IP. You don't want to, it gets into some hot waters there. So being able to kind of push that boundary a little bit more uniquely.
I think it's important to what's your point of view as an artist? This is like the number one basic thing of basically what film could nobody else make? And how does your story play into that unique point of view? And really, it's like a bear is not interesting, and someone riding a unicycle is not interesting, but a bear riding a unicycle is fascinating. And so I think that creative juxtaposition of like the familiar and the foreign, you need to approach your films, ads, whatever, of like, how do I hook somebody to where they cannot scroll away within the first 2 seconds? So even though short films on average, can be 2 to 3 minutes, you have to think of it like, I got to socially engineer this Mr. Beast style. What's my title that hooks them? What's my thumbnail that hooks them? What is the first 5 seconds that is undeniably interesting? And then how do you make a traditional short film ad on the back end of that? Because if you don't get that locked in, nobody's going to watch your film, nobody's going to vote for it, et cetera. So lock it in.
From the company perspective, at least for us for 11 Labs, sound design is really important. Where I think George Lucas says, sound is more than 50% of the experience of the storytelling. You can have really crappy visuals, but good sound can carry you a lot of the way. Whereas the inverse, if you have amazing cinematic visuals, but the sound is just shoddy, then it really kills the experience. It breaks that fourth wall. So for us, from the 11 Labs Award and the prizes that we're offering, sound design, sound effects, having these rich soundscapes that are more than just a music track and voiceover are going to be really important considerations. From Google or from FAL, what do you think you're looking for?
I think at the end of the day, and you said it well, Justin, but I think these tools are a means to an end in terms of letting creatives shine through and getting their true art across. And Google models and 11 Labs and all of these mediums are fantastic and incredible tools, but really just, once again, a means to an end. So I think, just like leveraging the state-of-the-art technology and understanding how can this better get my vision across is just what's most important. So, not to get too meta with it, but it's really just about unlocking what the creators have in mind, and hopefully we can get closer and closer to like true fidelity of exactly what these creatives have in mind. And this is just an easier way of expressing or extending reach to all creators.
The true art and quality. Thank you very much for mentioning this, because this is how we want to be perceived as well. So Google is actually taking those models to billions of people via Gemini app, via AI Studio, which are consumer-grade applications. And we don't want to be associated with something that is already called the AI slop. Like, there is a lot of low quality, low effort content that lacks meaning and sense, and we want to be part of the community of creators and authors who are actually getting this quality right. And at the same time, this is an extremely fast-paced sector of industry at the moment, because if we looked at the models like half a year ago or a year ago, I mean, the world was completely different half a year ago. Unrecognizable. Now with VO3, VO 3.1, we can actually get over this uncanny valley effect, and we can actually achieve something that looks proper. And then how do we tell the story with it? That's why, us cooperating, collaborating with creators, with the communities, I think this is the way forward to show the world, what's the future.
And for mainstream audiences, I think at the end of the day, some people really do care whether it was made with AI or not. But for many people, they don't care how the sausage is made. They want to see things that are as good, if not better, than what they're already watching through traditional means. But to get past this reductive kind of AI slop label, it's hard, because the slop is what goes viral. It's very easy to share, whether it's through an app or social media, and
but
to show people.
Engaging.
It's engaging, but maybe in the wrong ways. And long form content, we're talking about films that are 3 to 5 minutes, feature films, even pilot episodes, which are 22 minutes, never do well on social media. Long form struggles because it doesn't have that initial hook, that initial engagement, and I think it goes. All of our brains are
overloaded with content.
It's exhausting. As the kids say, it's cooked, right? What we're trying to do with the competition is go beyond that a little bit, where it shouldn't matter all these external factors. It should be who has the best idea and who is able to execute it most efficiently. The other kind of objectives of the competition is it's accessible, it's transparent. We're trying to say, yes, it is AI, it's AI first, but this is how we're using these tools. This is how we're creating these opportunities. It's a great on-ramp for partnerships, as we mentioned, and it's also creating this content and talent pipeline. Justin, I know that from the past competition, a lot of a few of the productions became part of the Beyond the Loop anthology. So I think a lot of people are looking at the competition, whether to hire people for who are looking for jobs, or also to fund some of the content. Being in that perspective yourself, how did you kind of see the things that you made that were made in the last competition and decide to greenlight them for further production?
I mean, we're desperate for talent, right? It's an expanding space, and we're desperate to find people who have the experience to create good stuff, I think anything's going to get labeled with a bit of slop. It's just the space we're in right now, right? I think what the competitions do is it gives people access to the tools and the opportunity, like a period of time where it's like, I could do everything, but I'm going to have to do one thing and get it out there. And what often happens out of those, whether they're winners or not, it enters the radar of all the tech companies, of all the kind of studios, of all the people who need that support. And it's been really exciting to see people in the last, 3-4 years kind of really expand what they're doing as individual creators of their companies, because they started getting involved in some of the competitions. Like I know Nick Cleveroff, right? He made this a great piece for a competition. We expanded on that for a short film. This guy has now got a green lit on like a £30 million project, right?
Yeah, from OpenAI Critters.
Exactly. So it's like, and I don't know if that would have happened if he didn't put himself out there in the first place, you know? Yeah. And I'm seeing this all around, you know? It's a fantastic opportunity to sit down, get something out, and then find people who want to develop you as a creative, you know?
Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention, right? This is like, these festivals become a forcing function on your time to like just grind it out and also connect with others like we talked about before.
Yeah. There's just last point, there's a lot of stuff online, so it can be quite hard to wade through it or make genuine connections to people and figure out if they're good or they're bad or whatever. And like a 2 to 3 or like a slightly shorter film really forces people to kind of show what they've got, right? Within parameters. But more importantly, it's everyone who's involved in these competitions, we're all kind of aligned. We're all looking to make deeper connections.
Yeah, and that's a great point to kind of leave us off on this session for. Thank you so much for coming by, and please check out the Chroma Awards if you have any films. We accept anything made from February, and our deadline is November 17th. So 2 weeks from today, we have $175,000 in cash prizes that are eligible, and you can be a lot of these brands' champions. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Upscale conference. Thank you.